Okay, so what I have here is basically my first VS Code extension, which for my essentially my whole writing system should create a day folder as well as the base file for everything, just with one command through Command Shift P kind of a thing. I haven't installed the extension yet, um, but so far, just to quickly go through the code, is essentially we have some constant for looking up days, which will be um, used for translating like a month in an integer into a string, which will match up exactly to what we have here. And then we have two functions, which will be called. One is the first thing to do is create the day directory. So that'll actually go ahead and create this directory for the current day. And then we'll also create the file inside. So normally we have an index.md, which will get immediately served. So that's what we'll do. And basically the code just looks like something like this. We have this activate function, which is registered to create day.create day, which is what we're going to have. First, we create the day directory. If the day was created, we'll go ahead and create the day file. If the day file is created, show that we did. Otherwise, show failure messages, and that's really it. The only things that we had to do is inside our extension, we have a package.json, and we had to add our publisher here. And then before publishing, kind of down here, let's see, this will be VSCode Extension. We had to do VSCE. Come on, VSCE package. And this will go ahead and do some compiling and packaging and all this. It'll take a second. And okay, yes, repository field is missing because it's already inside of Git repository. I don't really care. I'm not publishing this out to the world, so that's fine. So I package this, and then hopefully I can go ahead and install this. Let me see, install from VSIX. And now we have our VSIX here. Let's see if it installs. It says it's installed. Great. So now that it's installed, let's give it a go. So I'm in the root directory. Let's just look at my debug console to see if it'll do anything. Let's do create day, create a day. Beautiful, right? So ideally, what should happen is we have a December, we have a day, but we don't have the day. So what went wrong? Or did this just not refresh? It did refresh because today is December 18th. Let me run one more time. So this will be Command Shift P, created day. Okay. Well, let's give this a pause and see what went wrong.
Okay, so we found our bug. I was looking at a little bit of other code here for how people were doing creating file system stuff. Turns out, um, what they were doing didn't work for me either. Um, but I think it has to do with how previously I was dealing with this URI. So previously I was just doing this URI and like joining the paths together manually, like this. Well, kind of like this, except instead of doing this this base.dir being a URI.fs path, it was just URI. So basically playing around with this eventually, like this is what ended up working for me. If I looked in Finder previously, you can see there's kind of a missing thing here. The missing thing was some folder named file slash, and which got deleted, so it was like this. And I created the whole directory structure and even created the like proper days and stuff. but once I saw that, I was like, oh man, like so it's like essentially creating the file in my workspace directory already. So I thought it was using relative paths, and if you try to use relative paths, it doesn't work. And then finally, like you use the full path, but then it only creates in the relative directory. Super strange behavior. Probably I'm doing something wrong. I mean, or maybe not entirely like you should, but anyhow, this works. So now you can see I have December 17th here, and if I go ahead and do create day, boom, now I have December 18th, and it should even auto-generate the HTML and commit those files. So now there we go, right? We have a beautiful writing space, right? Writing space, all right? And that's all. So yeah.